Just 5 weeks to go, folks, for the start of the 2011 Cheltenham Festival. Hope you're as excited as me for what is the ultimate jump racing festival. This is the third edition of the Sporting Bet Road to Cheltenham programme, and with me today in our London office is jump racing legend and at the races pundit. How you doing, Mick Fitzgerald?
I'm very good, thank you, Chris.
Excellent. And to my other side, you can hear him in TalkSport every night. His dulcet tones every night in TalkSport. He's our new head of media. He's our betting expert, Ross Wiseman. How are you doing, Ross?
Magnificent form, Chris. Looking for more winners.
We all are, indeed. Sandown then on Saturday in the champion hurdler Binocular turned up in the contenders hurdle. Didn't really impress anyone that much. It was a very laboured victory over some rags, really. But, you know, what did you think of that, Mickey? He's taken a lot of pelters in the press the last couple of days. Does that put you off him for the champion hurdle?
It hasn't put me off in the slightest. The thing is, if you fancy him now, you get a better price than you would have done 2 weeks ago. Everybody said when it was a laboured performance by him, when he got beaten by Peddler's Cross at Newbury, is he the same horse that won the champion hurdle? Then he goes to Kempton, no great expectations, and wins well. And everybody says, wow, can't wait for the champion hurdle to come around. He goes to Sandown, he struggles home, beats a horse rated 116 and scrambles there, but he struggled again last year. He went out to 10-1 last year, went and won the champion hurdle. He's still the reigning champion, he's still the one they got to beat, and I've still got plenty of faith in him.
Good man. Ross, did Binocular's price change after Saturday?
I don't think the Sporting Bet horse racing odds compilers, Chris, had any choice but to change the price and push him out. I mean, Mick makes a very solid point there. This was very similar to last year. The horse was a little bit worrisome in its preparations. It was a big drift. It drifted at one stage, would you believe, to 10-1 last season. 5-2 out to 100-30 now. So 100-30 with Sporting Bet right now. It's an appealing price for those people who want the champ to defend his crown. But there were one or two worrying moments for me, I have to say, just from a punter's perspective. I thought the head carriage was a little bit funny. Maybe not as slick in the hurdling department, but the man on the far right here knows more about the horse than anybody, and you know, obviously still got that chance to defend his crown.
Yeah. Another champion hurdler contender from the same stable was on action Saturday. Oscar Whiskey winning the Welsh champion hurdle at Foss Lass. Apologies if I got the pronunciation of that wrong. Mick, do you think this fella could finish in the frame in the champion hurdle?
Well, if you rewind the clock back to last year's Cheltenham Festival, this fella finished, what, 4 lengths behind Menora and Get Me Out of Here. That's good form, but you worry, is it good enough to figure in the shake-up for the champion hurdle? I think there's a lot of improvement in this horse. I really think the world is his oyster when he jumps fences, but I think maybe champion hurdle could be a little bit early for him. The way he won over 2-5 at Cheltenham makes me think he could be more of a world hurdle horse. I think he's a very decent horse, but I think probably just falls a little bit below champion hurdle standard.
Okay, interesting. Ross, Oscar Whiskey's price and a general look at the champion hurdle, please.
We're looking at the champion hurdle now, Chris. Still, as we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, one of the most wildly competitive races you're ever likely to see. Oscar Whiskey 14-1 into 12-1. Very impressive at Foss Lass, but again, for the reasons I mentioned before, probably there are other protagonists who just have the more solid look to them. And Mick said you're backing the horse on potential. So 12-1 at the moment, Oscar Whiskey. Still, Mill Chief been well backed 12-1. Peddler's Cross 11-2. Hurricane Fly and Menora both trading around 4-1. But a horse that Mick I know is interested in, Dungwib, the forgotten horse. 16-1 at the moment. This time last year, Mick, we were talking about Dungwib. It was the only horse mentioned in every Cheltenham preview, the superstar of the game.
He was everybody's banker, wasn't he? Everywhere I went, I did some previews in Ireland, and everybody wanted to know, Dungwib, how much of a certainty is he, and can we basically base our Cheltenham Festival around him winning the first race? And the groans that went up when he got beat, it was just, everybody wanted to see it happen. But let's not forget how good he was leading up to the race last year. He disappointed at Punchestown because they rode him differently. This horse has got so much ability that you've got to forgive him 1 or 2 poor runs. If you do, he is the value bet in the champion hurdle.
And I think from a value perspective, Chris Mick touches upon it there. 16-1 about a horse that was basically the even money favourite in the opening race last year. Wildly big price.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what race he runs in. Of course, he's in the champion hurdle, he's in the Coral Cup as well. But yeah, Dungwib definitely one of the stars of last season. Let's hope he can replicate some of that magic this term when he returns. Let's look ahead to the weekend then. It's all about Newbury, a fantastic card. Of course, the rescheduled Hennessy meeting at Leopardstown as well. So a great weekend of action. Let's concentrate on the TalkSport Trophy. And we've had an email in from one of our customers, Graham Johnston from Edinburgh. Mick, he wants to know, what do you know about this Solix, this Henderson Good thing for the TalkSport Trophy on Saturday?
no more than what anybody who studies the form knows, and he's a winner at Auteuil on heavy ground. But I did see him school the other morning. He looks light on his feet. I wouldn't have said that heavy ground is a necessity for the horse, because it doesn't look like it's going to be that heavy. There's a bit of rain around at Newbury as well, so I think it'll be nice ground. He's a smart horse. Nicky thinks a lot of him, but we don't know how good he is because we haven't got anything to gauge him on. I think he could get into this race very well, and then again he might not. I think it'll be a watching brief as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think one of the themes of jump racing in the last few years, Ross, has been these ex-French horses coming over to the UK and plundering the big prizes. What price is Solix for Saturday's big race?
Well, just talking to our trading team before, Chris, before doing this little piece, that we're 7-1 Solix at the moment. They're very happy to take the horse on, mainly because it's so competitive, the race, and it's traditionally one of the hottest handicaps of the year. Mick said, obviously, winning on the heavy ground at Auteuil, very difficult to translate that form into UK markets. And 7-1, I think, is a fair price about the horse, but we're happy to stand that. That's a horse we're going to take on. Solden Licht is the joint favourite there for Alan King, also 7-1. Another horse we're happy to lay. Two that we want to keep on the right side of, though, at Sporting Bet at the moment. Walk On, obviously, traditionally a very good horse, that wasn't it, like this time last year, one of the real stars of the game, just coming back now, and a great reappearance run there at Ascot, just getting beaten near the line. And the one for money today, Get Me Out of Here, 9-1. Front page of the Racing Post always leads to a few quid each way, but that's an interesting one as well. Recession Proof's one I like. Had a little bit of a spin there on the flat for John Quinn at Southwell. I think that could go really well. But I mean, you could probably mention a dozen horses here, couldn't you, Mick? And they've all got realistic chances in such a tight race.
Yeah, and you look at the likes of Bothy as well. But I saw Recession Proof win when he won on very bad ground down at Linkfield, and there was a lot to like about that horse. And trained by the right man, John Quinn, knows what he's doing. And Dougie Costello, who rode him on that occasion, he's a good judge, Dougie, and he likes this horse, so he could be valued.
Yeah, Saturday it should be a cracking day at Newbury at the Berkshire track without any doubt. We've asked Mick the last couple of weeks for his anti-post pick. He picked up Q Card a couple of weeks ago, Giseo last week in the Arco. This week, Mick, we're looking at the Ryanair. Before I come to you though, Ross, give us a feel for the Ryanair betting, please.
Well, we mentioned prior to coming on, didn't we, guys? It's an open race where it's very difficult to place horses in this race, and it's almost the forgotten horses, young horses coming through, horses that are past its best. But Pokerland's the favourite, 4-1 with us at the moment. A Cheltenham specialist with no doubt about that. Tranquil Sea 7-1, Kalahari King 9-1, and Golden Silver 10-1. And after that, it's 12-1 bar. But again, we could probably mention a dozen horses in with a real solid chance here.
Yeah, Mick, Ryanair, your thoughts?
Henrietta Knight, please run Summersby in this race because I think he's just tailor-made for it. He'd be the one that I'd want to be on. Great form last year at Cheltenham, second to size in Europe in the Arkle. We've seen him finish and almost beat the great Masterminded. I think this race is his for the taking.
Interesting, because most people would say he's the champion chase horse after that run in the Ascot last month.
Yeah, they would, but for me, I just think that it's tailor-made for him, the Ryanair.
Now, Mick, you're off to Ireland for the rescheduled Irish Hennessy on Saturday. Who are you fancying?
Well, I was a big John Coll fan with Pride of Dulcet was in. No Pride of Dulcet this time. John Coll for me, an even bigger certainty.
Nice one. Watch Mick on At the Races this weekend for sure. We're back again next week. Me, Mick and Russ again for the road to Cheltenham. Do join us for that. We'll leave you now with a summary of Mick's best bets in the programme so far. See you next week.